Hey nerds, welcome to Supergirl, Theories and Conspiracies. I'm Brian from Good Nerd Bad Nerd. So this week was, all in all, it was okay, it was fine. A lot of kind of different storylines were coming to a head, mainly the whole Guardian Supergirl rivalry. And honestly, I still have issue with Jimmy and his role in the show. So that being said, though, Livewire was great this week, especially her quips at them, whether it was her or the clone or not, or whatever. But first of all, calling out Mon-El on his really, really bad Superman cosplay, and then calling out both her and Guardian, saying if you want to get a job done right, basically you got to send in the woman, and that's exactly what happens. Supergirl comes in, and her and Livewire actually do more damage than Guardian and Mon-El do. So Livewire was great this week. Really interested to see how that plays out with her still on the loose, and if Kara's right, and there is a redemption story coming with her. But all in all, yeah, Jimmy was terrible this week. They need to figure out a new role for him, I think. This whole Guardian thing, well, I think it would have been great to introduce a character like that. I don't think Jimmy was the right one for it, although I do have an idea of how they're going to redeem him in Kara's eyes, and I'll get to that a little bit later. But Mon-El, his poor Superman cosplay, he will be getting his Superman-esque costume at some point in the show. Could be next week, could be a little bit. We know Wynn's working on it. It's coming. And I like that they called out that this was not it, that it looks bad, and that Wynn did say, yes, I'm still working on it. I have to do it. It's coming. But hang tight. We will get something that looks closer to the comic, that looks closer to Superman's costume very soon. Next, the John and McGann stuff. This, by far, was the highlight of the episode for me, and it was too short. It was way too short. The redemption and the coming to terms with everything was really important, and this is the big setup for where the show is going to be going for the next chunk of the season. John and McGann in the comics, they aren't they're kind of uncle-niece kind of a relationship, which is different here, although technically she's not really his niece. But this coming together and kind of mutual acceptance of each other, especially on John's side, because he was the one that was fighting it. This was important. It's a big step, and it was just great. And I really wish we could have had more of what was happening in their mental link on Mars, instead of just kind of the sitting there and watching the little child run off. I was expecting that McGann had tried at some point to save his family, without them actually knowing it, but that probably would have been too much of a crazy coincidence. I tried to save your family. All that being said, that was for me the strongest part of the episode, and I would have loved more of it. Now this brings to the Martian Chronicles that they've been really kind of hammering and advertising and pushing, and this is going to be big. Obviously, they've set it up that the Martians are coming to Earth, the white Martians are coming to Earth looking for McGann, but when they're here, obviously they're going to find that John is still alive. And I think what we're going to discover is there's a specific storyline from the comics involving the white Martians, and this is the Sabotage of Evolution storyline, where it was revealed that the Martians had come to Earth and were experimenting on the humans and discovered that they had the metagene. And while they were experimenting with them, they basically tampered with the human genome and prevented the metagene from being in everyone. It's explained that if humans had been allowed to evolve naturally, they would be as strong as either Daxamites or Kryptonians. So that's a nice parallel to the kind of current setup of the show. Now, how do I think Guardian is going to play into this? Well, the Martians, during one of their invasions, don't think Batman is a real threat because he doesn't have any powers. I think you're going to see something similar. The Martians are going to go to neutralize Supergirl. They're going to neutralize McGann and John and anyone else that kind of rises up and shows that they have abilities. Maybe, you know, who knows, they may try and plan another crossover. But they aren't going to pay any special attention to Guardian, and I think that is going to be a big flaw. And they're going to use that idea from one of these invasion storylines. It wasn't specifically the tampering with the evolution or the sabotage of evolution storyline, but they're going to ignore Guardian because they don't think he's special. And I think that is going to be how he proves himself in Kara's mind, and how he comes through, and that's going to be where the mending of that kind of relationship happens. So, what do you guys think? What did you think of the episode? Did it work for you? Or like me, did you think it wasn't that great, but you really enjoyed the Martian stuff? Let me know in the comments below. And what do you think the Martian Chronicles, Martian Invasion, whatever it is going to turn out and look like? Leave your comments below, and don't forget to check out my other theories. We have Flash and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. But until next week, guys, this has been Brian from Good Nerd, Bad Nerd, and this has been Supergirl, Theories and Conspiracies.